We are 45 minutes into, and we've done one album. We got to move things along. Holy shit.
There's a lot of lore.
There's a lot of lore. Welcome to Every Album Ever with Mike and Alex. My name is Michael Mansour, and I'm joined, as always, by my, I haven't seen him in a long time co-host, but you guys just saw him last week. Alexander Volts, say hello.
Hello. This episode goes out to Big Hookie and Baba.
Sure does, I bet. This is Every Album Ever, the podcast we listen to every single album in the world, one artist at a time. That's a new discography per episode, and today we'll be discussing every album by
M.F. Doom, a.k.a. King Geeksher, a.k.a. Victor Vaughn,
a.k.a. Madvillainy,
Madvillainy, Danger Doom,
a.k.a.
JJ Doom.
There we go. A.k.a. Doom.
Doom. And then this, I'm sure I'm leaving out a few other ones.
There's a few others. Should there be an asterisk next to this episode? Because we're doing a bunch, but he's done a lot.
No, I don't think there should. I think this is where he's most vocally prominent. And we'll get around to some loose ends
for sure
a few months from now.
So this was our first Patreon poll chosen episode.
Yes.
We put up a few options on our Patreon, patreon.com/everyalbumever, and let our folks decide. And well, this was your baby.
Yes,
this was your baby. My baby lost. All right.
This has been a dream episode of mine for a while, and then he passed away around the same time as DMX, and we went DMX.
We went DMX over. That's right.
Because I
forgot about that.
We thought it'd be funnier.
It was funnier. It was worse, but it was funnier.
Yeah.
Check out that episode. Fuck.
And then it's this the algorithm. You guys, you don't love rap music the way I do, but we threw this up on the poll just to give the Patreon members a choice, and you guys pleasantly surprised me.
Our buddies, our fans, our people, they like when we talk about hip hop. The world doesn't care about two white nobodies talking about hip hop. I get it. I honestly, I would rather not talk about it just because I have such little. I mean, I like it, but I don't have like the childhood experience like I do with Noise Rock or whatever.
I like when Mike talks about hip hop.
I try to come from an objective point of view.
Yeah, it's a nice point of view.
It's very fresh for the most part. I got into it when I was like teenager, which is late for me, and but yeah, as long as our buddies like it, then it's all good and good. But if you're new here and you want to fucking stick around, which you probably don't, it's okay. Just like the video if you like it. Dislike it if you're a goddamn cocksucker. I don't really care. Just leave comments for the almighty all-consuming algorithm so you can really help us be seen by other people. And subscribe if you feel like. What else do we got here? I'm already forgetting the plugs. Spotify playlist. We haven't done this in like 3 weeks.
No,
we've had a pretty big gap. Spotify playlist on MF Doom. You can find a link in the description. We got playlists associated with basically every episode. You can find all those at everyalbumever.com. And our bread and butter, baby. That's patreon.com/everyalbumever. There you got tons of bonus episodes. Discount 20% off all our merch. You get to vote on polls. You get to see our schedule in advance. If you're tier 2, if you're bigger than Jesus, that means you can suggest artists for us, and we will actually cover it instead of just lying to you and saying that we will, because we don't have enough time to do anything really. Even our backlog of Patreon suggestions or requests is getting out of hand. So
looking to put a dent in that in the upcoming weeks.
Yes, we will cover them if you're there. We probably won't if you're not. And Is that? Oh yeah, I always forget to plug the Discord. There's a Patreon Discord there. We chit chat about music and whatever. You can talk shit to us there too if that's what you feel like doing. It really doesn't matter. It's fun. It's all fun.
You got a little album.
I got a little EP coming out. This is like the worst episode to plug my upcoming EP, by the way, because no one coming here for MF Doom wants to hear a fucking post rock art rock EP that I put.
I don't know. I think some Doom fans might.
Perhaps. Debut EP by Panda Monkey, my solo project, is out June 28th. Please go pre-save it on Spotify. There's a link in the description for that. A lot of soul and tears, not literally, but a lot of long nights and anguish in quarantine were spent making that fucking thing. It took way too long, but it's finally ready. It's finally out. It's all good. So please, for the love of Christ, give me a shot. So yeah, links in the description for all of that. Please and thank you. June 28th. Okay, so I think that's it for plugs for now.
Yes.
Now we on to Doom.
The origin story. Yes.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. So this is a loaded guy, loaded history, whole bunch of things, whole lot of sadness and strangeness.
What? Yeah. One of the most interesting people to ever take part in hip hop. And I think I was debating if I wanted to say this, but I think he is the greatest rapper / producer. Like, number one in my book. Number one.
Based on which criteria? But
like his rhyming ability, the beats, like, let's compare him to like Dr. Dre. Dr. Dre sucks at rapping.
Okay, I'm not gonna disagree with you.
So it's like Dr. Dre's already out, and then
well, here's why I don't agree. And here's the thing: I'm probably gonna get a ton of shit for this episode. Don't care. I still really actually came out really loving him with Doom, but he's you know how much of a fucking stickler I am for rhythm.
Yes,
he is not. He is good, sure, but it's not like it's not fucking exact. He's not exact. He's like he doesn't write. He gets on the margins, so to speak.
I think he does that on purpose.
Sometimes it seems on purpose. Sometimes it seems like he's trying to stuff a bigger word, and the bigger word than works, and does it sloppily.
Sometimes he rhymes quick. Sometimes he rhymes slow.
That's why it's unusual, because sometimes it's like, oh, this is on point as fuck, and then other times like that word doesn't fit there. What is he doing? Like it sounds like smushed, and it's like a little kid was trying to write a letter between the lines.
He's the Beefheart of rapping.
He's way more accessible than Beefheart. Way more accessible than Beefheart. But having said that, there's still like, you know what, in terms of like production though, I'm so conflicted, because I want to not be the same old bullshit like he's so amazing, it's so unique, but it is, and I felt things that I've never felt with hip hop with these other people. Like, fuck, it's so unusual, and it's activating things in me. I don't know what it is.
Yeah,
it just feels just strange and kind of, I can't say sad, but just weirdly distant and melancholy and cold. I'm like, this is like an ugly fucking thing, but it's pretty, and I like it, even though it makes me feel bad.
That's kind of who he is.
I know.
Yeah, when I was a young man getting into him, I didn't know how to feel about it, and then I just kept coming back to it because it's so weird, and he just kind of felt like this weird guy me and my friends would listen to, and then so to kind of watch him get some notoriety in real time was crazy. And then I guess I got into him during the there's one year where that man we all know the year, we all know the albums, and it's a very big year. That's when I was getting into him, and then so like it's just it's crazy because I was just like, I have me and my weird friends and the weird music we listen to, and then to like watch his like legend kind of grow. And
this was another reason why I wasn't like super jazzed about doing this episode, because I had only heard one album before all of this, and I wasn't big on it, and I was like, this is one of the most overrated dudes. Like, maybe I was obviously judging before I had any real context. I was like, this is okay. I get it sort of, but it's just, it's not for me. It's just not for me.
Yeah. And when we get to that album, you got to let me know.
But fucking first album, man, I'm like, first of all, this is way different. This is not what I was expecting. It's weird. I like it. And oh goddamn, it's so fucking interesting.
Yeah,
and I was an idiot before.
Nice,
I was an idiot before. I really do like these albums. I don't think he did a bad album. Yeah. Same.
There's, and after I like made my picks, I kind of went on YouTube and saw how people ranked his albums. And it's not that I like disagree, but I think there's like reasons for it. But I don't think there's a bad album.
There are ones I definitely like less than others, 100%. But
they're always interesting.
There's always something interesting, And I will give little teeny bit of a spoiler. The one, the album I gave worst to was just the least interesting. It's not that it wasn't interesting. It was just the least interesting.
Okay, yeah, I think that's about where I came from too.
Yeah. I did hate a couple things, but very few. Most of it was like, I mean, so one thing that this motherfucker does, just on a general thing that I love that I don't hear hardly ever in hip hop, is just the decision to just halfway through the song, it's going to be a different song.
Oh yeah.
And he does it a lot.
Yeah.
I fucking love that shit.
Yeah.
I never see it coming.
Yeah. The production is weird, but then like, cause when I was younger, I think I got more into him for his rhyming schemes because they are pretty advanced. Like if you sit down on that Genius website and you look at the way like he rhymes things, and like I forget what song it is. I think it's on the first album. He does like a quadruple entendre. Like it's just like, what the fuck are you doing? Like I think it's this comes really well, maybe it doesn't, but like he makes it seem so effortless. And I think also because he doesn't really have hooks, for a while the mainstream kind of looked over him.
Yeah.
Because he's not really writing catchy songs. And then like you really have to like sit and look to be like, oh shit, the wordplay is just insane.
That's another thing I fucking completely disagree with the world about, because you could say it's not catchy, but it's just not radio catchy. These things are always stuck in my head. They're and they're samples taken from old fucking movie scores, like from the fucking 30s and shit.
Yeah.
Maybe not that old. 50s. We'll say 50s. And
old cartoons.
Yeah, and that shit absolutely sticks in my head. Like I'm always humming shit from the fucking first album all the way to the end. Like there's always stuff I'm still remembering about the early albums, which rarely happens.
Yeah.
So to say it's not catchy is fucking insane, and for that to be not that you're saying that, but like for that to be a reason not to like or to grab onto it, if you're like, you know, I keep saying mainstream, but like this is not meant for mainstream. I get it, but for mass appeal in general, like there's so much dumb bullshit that gets famous, like a dumb, dorky, goofy bullshit, like just making dumb mouth noises. It's so much of mainstream music now. Like, yeah, well, that I get how that would stick in your head, but so does this crazy sample from clearly an old Fantastic Four thing. You know what else is funny is he does do mouth noises, and I always think of like ODB. Yeah, doing like noise. Things like that. I always think of like ODB. I'm sure ODB wasn't the first, maybe even like a Biz Markie, but Doom does do that. And going back to like this whole like mainstream thing, it's so crazy because him and his brother Sub Rock were in this group KMD. Yep. And it was crazy. They were signed to Elektra, and they butted heads with the label. Yeah, there's like a whole thing on that. Whole thing on that. And like that's like another episode. We either do KMD as their own thing, or, I think we could, or a loose ends thing. Yeah. But his brother Sub Rock ended up dying. He was hit by a car, and this made Doom very. Oh, I left out one of his other AKAs. Zen Love X. So to reference our boy Tom Osman, our history guy, History Tom, he compiled a bunch of stuff for us. He got a lot of it from his podcast called "Did I Ever Tell You?" The one about MF Doom from the Timeless Podcast Company, which is like starts from childhood and then goes on to everything. And there is so much shit here. Like, by the way, follow him at Tom Osman Sounds on all social media and check out his new fucking album. So much for all a day's work. Links in the description for all that. He's a good dude and he's fucking good at what he does. And also he does a lot of work for us. But yeah, like it was 3 brothers in KMD. It was him and both of his brothers, right? No, I don't think the third guy was his brother. Really? Yeah, I think he was just like maybe I'm wrong. I think might be. Because it's his other brother's one with the crazy fucking name. Well, that's Sub Rock. Oh, that's Sub Rock. Never mind. You're right. Probably right. Yeah. Holy shit. How do you pronounce Ding? I'm not going to try it. There's a lot of L's and a Z and W and a G.
I know how to say their last name, Dumile.
Dumile?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
But
that explains the Doom.
Yes, and he plays into that a lot on lyrics. But yeah, so yeah, this whole thing, this is series.
No, it was another bro too. It was Daniel.
Okay.
Yeah. It was Daniel, Sub Rock, and
No, yeah, Daniel's.
Wait, is it only two?
Yeah, Daniel's Doom.
Wait, I thought there's three. Yeah, there is three. Onyx.
Is
sorry.
Yeah, Daniel is Doom.
No one cares about Onyx. No one's paying attention to Onyx.
No. So, anyways, yeah, the whole thing, and then his brother died. He got dropped by the label. He was homeless. No one knows exactly for how long.
So that's not exactly so that's what some of the things we got here. That's what the wiki gets wrong. So the first thing was the label dropping them and not releasing their, was it the second album?
Black Bastards, yes.
Yeah, and I'm assuming
it's because a great album.
Yeah, I'm assuming it was because of the insanely offensive artwork and name or whatever.
Yeah.
What year was that?
It was 93, and then I believe it was released like eventually 2000. 2000 was when it saw the light of day, and it's a good album. Yeah,
that's cowardly, I would say, on their part, but I get how that would probably cause a lot of holy shit. That's a fucking brutal album cover.
Yeah.
But so what happened? What happened here? So I have to find it in the notes. So it wasn't exactly that he was homeless. He got associated. Dumile. I don't know what to fucking call him. I'll just say Doom.
Yeah, just call him Doom.
Yeah, that's way easier. Yeah. So after he got dropped from the label, he became associated with CM Fam, the Constipated Monkeys Crew, which is a fucking hilarious name.
Yeah, I think they like changed the name of it, like
afterward.
Or like it's just constantly changing.
Okay, I like that one the best. Yeah, I like for sure. But yeah, like Uptown New York, DJs and MCs, and he's spent a lot of time living with. Is that Jorge or George? I don't know which pronunciation, but it's spelled with a J, so I'm gonna go with Jorge. So yeah, as Tom says, he says the way Wiki describes it, Doom was rough on the streets. Seems like this is partly Doom constructed mythology, and in fact, in the years from Sub Rock dying and Doom reemerging as MF Doom, he was actually in his closely knit group, writing all the time and building himself up to make his comeback. So the whole time he was like alone, just writing a lot and making beats in like. I don't want to say like places where people congregate to do illegal things. He would just be like alone making beats and writing.
Sure. And yeah, I got a little off track, but the overall point I was trying to make was like it was never meant to be mainstream because of his feelings dealing with Elektra and how he felt burnt by the label. And so yeah, this like the premise of a super villain. And like the fact that it was like never meant to be mainstream, but he kind of broke through in unusual ways.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about like radio play, but definitely acceptance by like some pretty big names. So.
Yeah, like there's a thing where you're not on the radio, but gigantic A-listers are fans and going to your shows. It kind of makes you like, yeah, you're basically there too.
It is a cliche thing to say at this point, but it's true. One of his nicknames was your favorite rapper's rapper. And that's definitely the case.
Yeah.
As played out as the term is, it's definitely the case.
Big Bang Klingon was Doom's manager, and he talks a little bit like about how just everything changed after Sub Rock died and how he became this completely different, not completely different person, but it was.
But he
went reclusive.
Had the making this Doom persona.
Yeah, it was just like this whole different left turn, so to speak, and it was that's what it was called. It was Apartment 6G. Was a place of communal contribution that a lot of these guys in Doom were hanging out together in, drinking and drug taking all over the place. Del the Funky Homo sapien, says George. Or Jorge, helped keep things together when a lot of people were totally wasted. Big Ben, see what did he say? He said, so Big Ben says about the time in between Sub Rock's death and Doom. Says at that time it was hard for me to keep coming home to my bro This is so funny, me saying this. Coming home to my bro was down because of that whole situation. I can't really compare it to prior to because we got close during the time when that happened. One thing about Vil is that man will stay outside all night and all day and be like, what are you talking about? I'm at home. I'm at home anywhere. Damn. For some reason, that line just hits me like, fuck.
I mean, yeah, that kind of makes sense when we get into why he didn't really come back to America towards the end of his life.
I don't know the story.
Well, we'll get to it.
For sure. Yeah. We'll sure get to it. So
that's like, that's at the end.
So afterward, Big Ben invited Doom to join him in DC, where he would be at Howard University. He thought it would be good for him to get out of New York. Unfortunately, during his Greyhound bus journey, Doom got fingered for the bus, having a large amount of crack cocaine on it. He was charged with a key of crack, and the bail was massive. Crazy timing right at the moment he was getting his shit together. The case got beaten, and Doom ended up staying with Big Ben in the student dorms at Howard University making music. It's like, so it wasn't exactly a smooth transition between his brother dying. And
No. This is all like the super villain shit. Yeah.
And also, he's not here for that long, I don't think. MF Grimm.
Dude, I feel like we could do like a whole podcast on MF Grimm and MF Doom's relationship. It's so crazy. I don't even know the details of it, but I think like MF Grimm dropped like a 2 or 3 disc album against Doom.
Oh, that's a lot of discs for discs.
Yeah, their relationship is nuts, and I didn't really jot down notes on it because of like, damn, you could just like review that disc album.
That might be a fun loose ends. Holy shit.
But yeah, they were good friends. MF Grimm's on a few tracks.
Yeah, and he would executive produce the debut album, and they recorded an EP together. Another thing Tom says, he says their collaborations go back to the early 90s, getting equipment together and coming up with concepts. Grimm got shot in 94 and nearly died, then later ended up in prison for a while. This dude has had an interesting life, to say the least. Yeah.
I'm going to double check this because I think he ended up in a wheelchair.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm gonna double check.
Oh wait, that doesn't sound too not familiar. That was a stupid way to word that.
Yeah.
Right. He's in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm remembering now. Holy shit, that's fucking crazy.
Yeah, that guy's equally crazy life. So yeah.
So I think that's a pretty fair foundation.
Yes.
Yeah. We got a whole bunch of albums to talk about. We're going to be covering 9 total. We understand he's done more, but 9 I think is fair, and he's very.
This is where he is the main attraction. Yes.
He's produced more albums.
Yes. I'm like the Czarface thing. We'll do that later. He's more like a guest track on those. There's
other ones where he's just like the sole producer with another guy rapping. I forget what it was called.
Doom. I don't know.
That one.
Something.
That one verbatim. I don't remember what it's called either.
So yes, we are aware this man has more albums. We are focusing on ones where he is a primary rapper and producer. And
the funny thing is out of all 9 of these albums, only 2 of them are released under the same name. They're all under different fucking. There are 2 of them that are released under the same. 4 of them, 2 under one name, and then another 2 under a different name, and the rest are all different.
Yeah, you got 2 pairs.
2 pairs.
Yeah,
this is ridiculous. It's fucking ridiculous. But here we go. If you're ready,
I'm ready.
Hell yeah! So this is 1999's as MF Doom, Operation Doomsday.
Mic check.
You know, I like to think I'd get around to listening to Sade eventually, but MF Doom definitely sped up my
curiosity. Really?
Yes, because I just love this, and then I was like, "Oh, it's Sade." I listen to Sade now.
I didn't know this is Sade. It's smooth as hell. I wasn't expecting this smooth when I first heard this. I don't know. I don't love it. It's not my favorite thing, but I was like, this is nice. This is nice.
stop, stick around, come through and dig the sound of the fly brown 6060 cycle. Who throws a dick around?
Oh, just what are you doing?
Great writing.
Yeah.
He went over. He went over.
I don't care.
It drives me crazy. Like, it doesn't bother me. Like, I've gotten over it since, like, this whole discussion. I've gotten over it. But I do notice it. I always notice it.
MF, you silly. I like to take men's to the end for 2 milli.
Mouth noises.
Not bad.
Yeah, doing your own daily double noises.
Go out alone, black. Stay in the zone. Turn H2O to cognac. Doomsday. Ever since the womb till I'm
He's a great writer.
Oh.
That's what my tumor say. Right above my government, Dumile. Either unmarked.
Right above my government, Dumile, but it sounds like Dumile.
Yeah.
It's just,
If you don't believe me, go get back.
what a, like, man, what a statement track this is.
One thing we forgot to mention. Born in London. Born in
Oh
London.
yes, which that'll come up later. Born in London, but pretty much kind of raised around Long Island for the most part.
Long Island, and then like we said, moved to DC. And apparently has like a ton of siblings too, which I think our buddy Tom had some trouble trying to figure out. But
Yeah.
so back to the album. Really, this is I kind of want to give this personal favor. I'm not, but I really did. This one caught me off guard. I like it a lot.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to give it something too, but it is like a great debut. You get a sense of the weirdness. You get the lyrical prowess. You get the like cartoon samples. It's just like, yeah, he has created like his own world here.
Absolutely. So let's talk a little bit. Some more stuff that Tom said. By the way, I rushed through his plugs. I feel like an asshole. Tom Osman Sounds, by the way, he writes about music. He's very fucking good at it. He does a lot of research. Tom Osman Sounds, all social media, and then check out his Substack, tomosman.substack.com. Okay, done with that. All right. I just had to get that in there. So he says, he's talking about Curious George. It is George. I keep saying Jorge because it's spelled with a J. It's definitely George. It's definitely George. Now I know. I get it.
Although Curious Jorge
is a way better name. Curious Jorge. I know Curious Jorge.
Yeah.
He says, I definitely recall. This is around the time of this album. Says, I definitely recall when Doom was in my house in New York for the creation of Operation Doomsday. I remember all those tracks when they didn't have lyrics on them. He would just be there. He was just making beats, writing rhymes. He'd just be in my crib in the corner. Sometimes me mom's damn.
That's got to be like a
English type thing or a typo because he's not English.
A typo
because he's in New York.
I'm going to say my mom's.
My mom's come and visit. She'd be like, "Hey, Doom, what's up?" And she'd be like, he's always just in that spot. He's always so quiet. He'd just be reading, working. People be coming in, running in and out, beers, weapons, hoes, and my man is just in the corner making brilliant shit. That quote has stuck with me this entire time. For like 3 weeks, I've just been thinking about that quote. That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, that's Doom. I watched the long form Red Bull interview he did because it's just like he didn't do a lot of interviews, let alone like video ones. So it's crazy. And that's how he writes music. The beats always come first. He doesn't he doesn't like have lyrics in mind. He lets the beats dictate where he's going lyrically.
And that, I will tell you, is how a music maker makes music. That's how it goes. To write lyrics first, I get how it can be a nice exercise, but I don't think, and this is not just me, this is like a pretty widely believed thing. It's a foolish thing to make lyrics first and write music around it. Unless you want forced music.
I mean, I think like rap's probably more like a 50-50 thing.
That's different because it's so lyric oriented. Yeah. I'm thinking full-on music making as like a whole art.
Well, I think that's what makes Doom
better,
like unique.
Yeah.
And
what else? Another thing we could probably start talking about right now, his mask.
Oh yeah,
the man had a mask.
Yes,
that's kind of a big thing. Yes,
inspired by like one of my favorite supervillains and like why I started listening to him. Dr. Doom.
Shocker that he likes Dr. Doom when it's everywhere. All over every album. Something Doom related. Something Dr. Doom.
Yeah, because Dr. Doom is like one of the most like complex villains. And so it's appropriate this complex rapper takes on that persona. But then I but he doesn't wear a Dr. Doom mask.
No.
He wears the gladiator mask from the Russell Crowe movie, but it works.
It's like it altered a little bit, right? So this is a story that Tom gave us. So I think it was Keo. He's a graffiti artist. He did the original artwork for this album as well as the mask. So this is a quote from Keo. It says, quote, Doom was very interested in maintaining his anonymity. We used to sit in the club at the bar and drink, and no one would even look twice at him. And then he could throw the mask on and get on stage, and people would be in awe. A lot of people don't enjoy that freedom. Around the time that Doomsday came out was when The Woo came out. Doom was inspired by Ghostface wearing pantyhose on his head, but he wanted something more permanent. Started out with a cheap Halloween mask. They created a mask like Dr. Doom, but cut out the top lip. There's an early video with him wearing the plastic mask. That's the end of the quote. But the rest says, it didn't last, though. Not durable enough. Keo got the idea of buying a suit of armor. They were looking for that. And Gladiator just came out, like you said. The helmet from the movie was in a shop window, stainless steel and heavy, maybe weighing 25 pounds. Keo took it to a German sculptor who had welding tools, and he constructed it from there. So it was like it was the Gladiator mask, but it was still like it's still fucked with and made his.
And now you can just get them on Amazon for like $30.
Not the same. For 25 pounds is a lot to wear in your fucking face.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Insane.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like now it's just like easy because of Doom. Like you can just
have a fucking giant steel helmet.
Yeah.
Oh, it's fucking wild.
But yeah, another thing he talked on wearing the mask, and it's funny because I've heard like bands like Slipknot talk about it, but it's funny where they choose to wear the mask because they like the idea that like it could be anybody under the mask, and they don't want to get hung up on like the physical presence. But then it's like, but by like putting a mask on, you kind of do draw attention to it because you're wearing a crazy mask.
Yeah, the same with fucking Buckethead.
Yeah.
Can't take off the bucket. He can't take off the bucket.
No.
He can no longer take off. He can't be bucketless.
Yeah.
He can never.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think the mask it works for him, even though it's like to get away from the gimmicks, but then you kind of invite the gimmick. It's
one thing I find hilarious about Doom and the mask is that was this really overweight dude wearing t-shirts, but with this steel.
Oh yeah. I love it. I love it. It's like chunky dude. Sometimes he's like got a Cosby sweater on. Sometimes
regular ass clothes and just fucking bam.
Yeah. Sometimes it's a basketball jersey. Like, yeah. And like he throws like a baseball cap on top. Like he's this endlessly interesting.
It's fucking hilarious, but it's also the most comfortable thing ever. Like the most like not worried about trying to do a thing or trying to be a certain thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I wear the mask. I don't feel like putting on a fucking costume. I'm just gonna wear what I wear.
Yeah, it's great. It's great.
It's so tacky, but it's fun. It's fucking charming. Back to the album.
Yes.
Okay. This thing is weirdly diverse. And this is already why I was like, okay, I was wrong about him. I fucking love this. So many things here make me feel a lot of things, and it's so strange. Like you get rhymes like dimes is it's very funky and dreamy, but so herky jerky and strange.
Yeah, and then like for how dated this dude's rapping about Billy Blanks doing Tybo, like it makes me laugh.
That is pretty funny.
Yeah.
That man, remember those days? Jesus Christ.
I do. That's why I wrote down the notes.
But it's a very nice song. And it's also interesting hearing something so funky be so dreamy sounding.
Yeah.
Which I can't think of many examples of that. And then after that, which is probably my favorite song on the album, Tommy Gun. And I don't.
Or the fight.
What?
Wait. It's the finest featuring Tommy.
Sorry. Yeah. Sorry. Tommy Gun's on it. The finest. Holy shit. Like, I don't know why I love it. It's like weird 80s fuck music. But I can't ever get out of my fucking head.
To me, the like juxtaposition of Tommy Gun, like he almost sounds like too nervous. It was like his first, I don't know. I'm just like saying the way it sounds.
Yeah.
Like his first time in the studio and they're like, okay, get your verse. And he's like,
It's awful.
But it's charming.
That's the thing. The actual rapping, I think, is pretty bad. It's so sloppy and just like it's like a Tommy gun.
He gets it off real quick. Yeah,
it's like, again, it's my ultimate pet peeve with hip hop when you're like, you're not even paying attention to the actual rhythm. You're just getting out the words as fast as you can. Drives me crazy. I'm talking about the fucking beat.
Oh,
like, the actual beat fucking hypnotizes me. I don't even know why or how, but it's awesome. I fucking love it so much.
The first time I heard this album, one of the tracks that made me keep coming back was TikTok
or Tick Tick. Yeah.
Why would you fucking rap over that? I'm just gonna play it.
It is fucked up. And I like it a lot.
This has MF Grimm on it, and Atmosphere would do something similar to this eventually. But also I feel like this is kind of a trend on his albums where like there's always one track
shifting tempos.
Yeah, he loves doing it. And
it stops happening at the end a lot, but early on there's a
we'll just do a little once it like picks up.
Yeah.
Enjoy the roller coaster ride. Multifaceted. Walk the path of Jesus, witness of hell freezes, the mind teases, reality cracked to pieces, nothing eases, being chastised with blood baptized, dies, revives, acknowledge past lives, statements will be made, acknowledge me. My mind is heaven's gate, so
that is a bold move, and that's a huge thing that will get you immediately ignored by any kind of mainstream or any kind of.
It's off-putting to the ear.
Yeah, like, it's you shifting tempos every other verse. It's insane.
You can't bob your head to it.
No,
well, you can, but
it's just so new. It's so fucking. It's fucked up. It's unstable. It's warped and eerie. I've never heard hip hop songs like that before. I'll tell you that.
I gotta find the Atmosphere one for you because I know you like Atmosphere. I just forget which one it is.
But it's still a cool song. And then fucking. So another Red and Gold, I think, is more smoothness. I don't love it, but it's still
first appearance by King Ghidra.
Ghidra. I still like it. It's still odd, and it has. I eventually warmed to it because the samples. The samples are fucking batshit. It sounds like it's from like an '80s infomercial or something or promotional video. It's like. Put on a little bit of that because there's so many things on this album, specifically this one. It's like, where was this? What?
We're just gonna listen to every track.
It's fascinating. They're all so different.
That's enough.
This fucking smooth jazz horse shit, and it's like, but it's weirdly unsettling and very cool.
That's another theme that I think carries. Some albums do feel like it's like a variety show.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I think it's very cool, and
I felt that the most on this album, I think, than any other. So many of these are fucking great. One that's like just regular good.
Yeah,
that doesn't have like any of this weird 80s-ness or TV qualities to it. What is it?
Who you think I am?
No, yeah, that's the one.
Yeah,
I was getting mixed up with.
I think that's one of my favorite tracks.
Yeah, who you think I am?
It's this.
It's fucking awesome. Production.
Like
the
you
vocals,
can show that to the normies.
You can, except unless they're bitches, because the production is really rough on the vocals. It's really rough. It sounds like demo quality.
He talked about that too. He's like the interviewer in the Red Bull. He's like trying to talk to him about like, what do you use in the studio? He's like, it doesn't really matter. I don't really do much. I just kind of
get it on there.
Yeah.
Get it recorded. And I admire that. I agree with that 100%. I'm not a fucking audiophile. I don't give a fuck. Like if it matters what is being recorded, not how it is. And not that a really amazing sounding album isn't fucking better.
Yeah.
But there was such a massive number of people that they hear even the slightest thing that below their ridiculous expectations and they dismiss the entire composition, the entire art. Like, you're a fucking idiot. What the fuck? You're not a music lover. You're full of shit. Go fuck yourself. Like, there's so many songs on this album that would immediately trigger those people. I was like, I can't listen to this. You're a fucking idiot. This is really, a lot of this, it's not a perfect album at all, but it's fucking, a lot of this is really brilliant. It's fucking, God damn it.
Did you get like PTSD during Gastrolls?
PTSD from what?
From all those Steely Dan samples.
And I don't remember the song, and I'll tell you, I must have because I didn't like it.
Yeah.
I've noted that I didn't like it.
I forget it's the one where he's like, "Cause you were high." All of them.
All of them.
Yeah.
It's the thing. It's another strange one. It's not. I don't even hate it. It's okay, but I think at that point the album was just dragging for me.
Dead Ben is definitely one of the like stronger songs towards the end there. So I also get that because Gastrolls is like right after Dead Ben.
It's a hard follow. It's a hard follow because the fucking creepy string samples in Dead Ben are
I love those string samples. They're so good.
God damn. The question mark is solid too. Fuck, it's about as strong as some of the best stuff on here, but I think at that point in the album, it's hard to appreciate as much just because you're like, this is like the longest album or one of the longest albums.
Also, the way he uses skits are more like sound collages rather than like.
At this point, yes.
Yeah.
And I was so fucking happy. That was one of the things that caught me off guard crazy was the fact that I was like, these aren't skits. They're listed as skits. These are just transition tracks that are all kind of cool in their own way.
Yeah. Yeah. They serve the purpose of being skits better than like 90% hip hop album skits.
Hearing this, I'm like, why the fuck doesn't every single hip hop album just do something like, do you need a stupid little fucking sketch or you're having little jokes there and like little characters? Like, it drives me up the fucking wall.
If you're Wu-Tang Clan, yeah.
That's the thing. Wu-Tang Clan is like, it's like the Stockholm syndrome of skits because they're so ingrained with pop culture and they're so legitimately funny.
Yeah.
That it makes it like, they were the fucking outlier, and I think De La Soul was the first one to ever do skits, right? Weren't they the first ones ever?
I don't know
to like start doing like a bunch of skits, but I would say overall, I would not miss it if they all disappeared from the planet.
I get what you're saying. And
here, this feels like the kind of shit where I love. Like it's just blending the tracks, blending the bigger songs into each other, which is a very musical thing to do. Closer is not really a closer. It's more of an epilogue, hero versus villain. And it's super classic horror sounding. Like that's another thing that he does for most of his production is like old Godzilla movie soundtracks and really old classic horror where it's really stupid and big.
Yeah.
Gigantic strings that are kind of dramatic and it's a cool style. It's a very cool style that I haven't heard. I mean, who else has done that? Like into this level.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, I'm sure because of him, other people have, but
100%.
Yeah, it's like the Godzilla movies and the cartoons are like what Kung Fu flicks were to Wu-Tang Clan.
Exactly. Yeah, it's fucking great. And I imagine at this, in 99, nothing like this was around. Nothing like this.
This was out of print for a bit, and back in the day, I paid $50 for a copy from the UK.
Holy shit.
And then now it's in print, thankfully. But this was kind of like the stuff of legend, and then I got my hand on. I mean, I downloaded it, but it was just like cool to have that copy.
So yeah, I think overall it's not a perfect album. It's too long for its own good, and it has roughness, especially in the production. But in terms of like the ideas and the creativity here, it's fucking unlike a lot of stuff, and it sticks with you. I'm sorry to say this, and it's not about this is about the episode. We've done one album. We are 45 minutes into, and we've done one album. We gotta move things along.
Okay. All right, let's do it.
Holy shit.
There's a lot of lore.
There's a lot of lore. Oh my God. So this is next album. This is a big gap in between. This is 2003's As King Ghidorah. Take me to your leader.
Follow the light. The light is your guide. I'm controller of Planet X.
3-3.
And I've invited you here to discuss something that's very important.
King Ghidorah, take me to your leader. quick to claim that he not no snake like me neither.
Where is this sample from, man?
I like that the other one felt very like cartoon driven, and now we get more like a classic like soul.
Yeah. Well, this is still for sure like an old film.
Yeah, but it's less like zany.
It's less zany.
Yeah,
sure. It's more like Casablanca genre.
Yes.
He only here to warn us what the plan is. The hour is up on us, it's bananas. Born alone, die alone, no matter who your man is.
Really?
Hope you live long.
It's not.
I think.
Oh, that's right. Sauce.
King Hydra, 3-finger ring fever. Spring chicken eater, ID'd as a ringleader. Who needs a heater? Catch him with bare hands.
Wow.
These same hands that make razors out bear cans. His own biggest fan, and got a fan base as big as
I'm trying to find the sample on who sampled, and because of his fucking monikers,
You had the song right too. With
yeah,
it was Frasier.
For the little kings like Sling Blade. To the grave, put in work.
No, it's the wrong track.
Okay.
Rockin' like Studio.
Oh my God. All right.
Used to rock the shag, no fade.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Like a tailor-made suede.
There we go. Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
All right, so in that song, reason why we took so fucking long. That samples from Invasion of Astro Monster,
which makes sense.
Yeah, from 1965. It also samples fucking Phil Collins and Paid in Full, which Eric B. and Rakim. We fucking covered that a while ago.
I mean, yeah, the fact that this man is a student of Rakim is not really
no surprise
here.
So I like this album even more. Well, in a way, it's like I think it's a better album. It didn't like have that shock value that the first one did.
Yes.
I think overall it is a step forward. It's a step up. It's more consistent. It's more succinct. It's shorter. I think it's a better album.
Yeah, this feels also like I think having like a three-headed monster moniker for this is appropriate because there's a lot of guest stars.
Yeah.
Or not even stars. I just assume they're his friends. I don't really know any of these people.
Never heard of them. Yeah. Although we will see them again in the future.
Yeah.
Empress Star and stuff.
One of the craziest things I found out when doing research for this episode is on the song Antimatter. He comes up later on other Doom albums. Nobody knows who Mr. Fantastic is.
Oh, really?
No one knows who he is.
Interesting. That's fascinating.
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah,
and it's a good song too.
Yeah, I like Mr. Fantastic's voice. It's very like, I don't know how to describe it. It's not like overtly weird, but it just like feels good. His flow and everything like that.
Yeah, that's a groovy ass song too. Antimatter.
Antimatter's really good.
I mean, each album has a lot of I don't know, concept gimmicks. This one is very Godzilla, King Ghidorah, whatever. It's literally in the name why it's what it's based around.
Yes. And he describes this character as like a monster who sends things to Doom.
Mm-hmm.
And like Doom interprets them. So when he does like the King Ghidorah gimmick, that's like no filters to him. You don't got the Doom interference there, and I'm just like, you're a crazy person.
Yeah, he's absolutely out of his fucking mind. Yeah, for sure.
Because I think all the characters, the way he describes them, I'm like, that makes sense.
Sure, I mean they all kind of make sense in an artsy way if you just put on that hat. But what else is on here? I mean,
craziest, most like unhinged Doom track ever, probably No Snakes Alive.
No Snakes. Well, it certainly is absolute. I don't know why. Like, I feel like no one should like that song.
I love it.
It's fucking great. No, it is great. I mean,
I'm gonna play a little bit.
Oh boy. Okay.
Ghidra has arrived. You guys can take 5. By the time it's over, no snakes alive. Take a dive. Tell them
is that a military radio feedback sound on there?
Probably.
What the fuck is that?
It's the result of concentration and lollygag. I said, you're right. He pulled the mic out of snotty rag from sealed up airtight and wrapped up in a body bag. Get an advance.
We don't have time to get to it.
We don't. Whatever. Yeah.
We don't have time to get to it, but it speeds up and gets fucking
like what you were saying, where he changes and it's
double times. He goes fucking. Oh, it's great.
One of my favorite top tier doom beats for me. Next levels. I love that, like
jazzy, darker, awesome. Yeah. It also feels way cleaner than the rest on here.
Oh yeah, it's kind of an outlier, but I love it. I love it so much.
Fucking what else? I mean, there's so many great things on here, and it's similar to the last one, a little bit less zany, but leaning more into the you feel like you just imagine old movies all over the fucking place.
Yeah.
Crazy World has that one.
I thought that was a Twin Peaks sample. It is not.
Oh, what is it?
It's not Twin Peaks. I have no idea what it is. I didn't take note because
look it up right now. It is
Fifth Dimension.
Fifth Dimension. Yeah. So that one makes me fucking feel things.
Yeah.
Like it's just such an unusual and emotional beat. Like it goddamn, like this early shit is pretty. It's its own thing. The early Doom albums are its own fucking thing.
It's weird. I don't even want to say he's just throwing things at the wall because it's obviously very deliberate, but it's just like, it's like you went to a buffet and they're like serving you like sushi with like soul food. You're like, what is going on here?
And if you just find the right combo,
it fucking works. Yeah.
Fucking Final Hour brings on the theremin, which
hell yeah.
He's no stranger to theremin.
No.
Or samples with theremin. And again, that's another one with the shifting tempo where it's
and there's always once.
Yeah, it didn't feel as quite as amazing this time, just because like, oh, all right, this is
You've
just
done it before.
Another trick that he does before. It's also less than a minute though, so it's not even like it's hard to even call it a song. Like,
yeah,
there's a lot of things that he'll do where it's just like, oh, this is 50 seconds and now we're done. But what the hell else is on here? Lockjaws, fucking another minute long amazing song.
Fine Print is kind of the only one that feels cartoony to me.
I think it rules, man.
No, it's good.
Yeah,
I meant like cartoony in the like
for
Doom
sure.
sense.
It's I have to look up the sample of that because whatever it is, it's like Stars and Stripes Forever, kind of like that type of feel, with super old and colonial sounding. Let's see the Fine Print, and that sample is definitely not. Oh, it's another invasion of Astro Monster. So he sampled a lot from that.
Appropriately so.
Yeah, and last thing I'll note is I Wonder, because those strings, man, goddamn, beautiful. And it's also
that one felt kind of off to me.
Really, I dig it. It's also, but yeah, even though I did say the last album was super diverse, this one feels more diverse, even though it does have it feels more of like a cohesive
vision.
Yeah. Interesting stuff. Hell yeah. But we got plenty more. So are you ready?
I'm ready.
This is the first of his Victor Vaughn albums. And this is 2003's Vaudeville Villain.
And
let me crank it one.
He describes Victor Vaughn as a younger person who is an MF Doom fanboy.
Interesting. What a psycho.
A weirdo. So these ones, we got more of like a sci-fi electronic feel going on now.
That's my number. One dry summer, as far as I remember.
This song is so fucking good. And also, this is the first album where the production is like, it's good now. It's good production.
Well, yeah, I don't think he produced these. I think he's this lyrically doing it.
And I just mean like even his voice.
Yeah.
It's just the entire mixing, everything about it. It's just clearer and more punchy.
It's no big deal. It's just a bunch of knuckle fucks. You wonder how well would they hold up in the holding cell. It sort of had the strange makings of a tale told in hell.
But yeah,
like
I don't want to rush these things, but we do have to get it going.
Totally different vibe.
Totally. Best personal favorite.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I didn't see that coming.
Nor did I. I'd never heard of this thing. I've never fucking heard of this thing.
Yeah.
And I didn't even like, I don't give a fuck what's appropriate or what or not with this artist, because I'm just going in with what I find to be engaging.
I don't think there's any wrong answer when it comes to him.
This is,
to be fair,
a fucking incredible album. When I first saw it, I was like, we are playing a different fucking game now.
Yeah.
Because it feels like an evolution on his stuff before, because it's not it's not all. I mean, I love the first 2 albums, but it's a different producer, so it's not all these old film score things. There's still a lot of doomness in there, so a lot of that kind of shit. But the songs, man, are just the consistency out the gate is unmatched. I don't think he ever touches that consistency again, which is like banger, 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 like that many in a row where they're that strong. Like some of his best songs all in a row. Like the title track, Lick Upon the fucking Drop, Lactose and Lecithin, Dead Mouse, like all in a row. Like fucking holy shit. It just nonstop.
Let me say on Lactose, when he says, next time I'll bring my men who speak Mexican, is just fucking hilarious.
That's great. That's great.
He has I could have just go through ones that make me laugh. I only did the highlights.
But I love the pacing so much because you get the title track when you're just hearing, and it comes in hot with this dynamite production, and it's fast and it's pissed off. And then Lick Upon is the perfect follow-up. It's mid-pace, it's intense, it's mean. It's like the perfect, it feels so good coming after that.
That one reminds me of something like Biggie would rap over.
Yeah. Check out that episode too, by the way.
Yeah, I like that. I like that variety there. To me, there's like 2 big songs on here.
With that.
And they're Let Me Watch, which is one of the
Let Me Watch, Can I Watch? Yeah.
Funniest songs.
It's funny. I like it a lot. I didn't think I would like it, but I like it.
I'll just go through it. It starts and there's a female rapper on there, and it's Vic and this female rapper, and they're dating, they're in love. It's very appropriate. It's very sweet. And then Vic fucks up.
Yeah. Yeah.
He fucks up and what does he say? So he goes, so V can bite your titties like a baby toddler hoe. And she just loses it. Like, who the fuck are you? He says, I wonder if she ever had her cootie cat 88. And he just gets lewd for no reason and fucks. Like, he could have banged this girl, could have made her his girlfriend, but he fucks it up being too lewd, and then it ends with her being like, I'd rather masturbate than fuck with Vic Vaughn. Then he's like, well, can I watch? Yeah, it's so fucking funny. Like,
it's very funny. It's a weirdly smooth song.
I think it's like one of the most clever rap songs.
It's very clever. Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, and then the other big one, and I didn't even realize RJD2 did production on it, is right. Saliva.
Saliva. Just fucking rips, dude.
Yeah, it's just the opposite of that. Like, you have this jazzy, subdued thing, and then Saliva's
again, big. with the pacing, man. Like, they fucking, and this is one of his best paced albums. It gets worse toward the end with the pacing.
For sure.
And this one really bummed me out when I first heard it, because this is like fucking stellar. And then you got the open mic tracks. Listen, taking away all the skit. By the way, they're like skits in the beginnings and ends of them. If you take away the skit aspects, they're fucking great. They're just as good as the rest.
I like them because it separates them from other Doom albums, and there are actually people rapping, and there's like some jokey stuff, but then there's actually people like doing good rhymes on there.
There is some legit great stuff in, because they're 2 open mic night part 1, and then there's part 2, and they have a bunch of different guests on there, and it's opened up like an MC at an open mic saying, all right, we got this fucking douchebag coming to the stage, all right, cut his mic, like that kind of shit.
Yeah.
And it's a cute little thing. I don't like skits, like I said, but what made it so enraging is open mic night part 1. The first sack of shit that goes on is doing this fucking slam bongo poetry shit that goes on way too long.
Yeah.
And I get it's like a joke, but it's so fucking cheesy and hacky, and it goes on a long time. It just disrupts the fucking, like I said before, perfect flow of that first chunk of album. Perfect set of songs, and they throw in this dog shit. And again, the rest of the song is cool, but that fucking 2-minute long bit is like, Jesus Christ, what a wrench.
I kind of like it because I feel like Doom exists in its own world, like separate of music and hip hop. And then on those open mic night tracks, it's like he's kind of acknowledging and he does in his lyrics eventually, like the outside world. So that's another reason I kind of like them. And to me, this helps, like when you listen to it, you're like, you're not going to confuse Victor Vaughn for MF Doom.
Yeah.
I mean, you are because they're
Oh,
the same person,
same guy, but it is a very different vibe.
Yeah, in terms of the vibes on the album.
But the rest of the songs, for the most part, like Ray Dawn is fucking amazing, crazy ass sample, super ethereal and beautiful, with like a hint of spookiness in there. Fucking Modern Day Mugging, another super short banger. Just so. This album, I think, is the reason why it's my fucking favorite, and I think it's the best just because it's just the most good songs packed in with the best pacing, or like the most of his best songs, I think, in one album. But the reason why it's my favorite is because the darkness on here, I think, is the most hooky.
Yeah,
like he's dark for most of the album, maybe like a couple he's not so dark on, but this one, it's like evil, pissed off, mean, angry bass lines that are just the fucking coolest and catchiest.
That, having you describe it like that, I think adds an interesting wrinkle into these characters where like Victor Vaughn is not like a full-blown super villain, but thinking about it in that context, and we'll get to it when we get to Vic's last appearance, I think he may be like more evil than Doom.
Oh, more evil. Holy shit.
Yeah,
Holy shit.
I think this motherfucker was like laying down the groundwork for like Vic to overtake Doom.
Oh shit. I mean, it's fucking rad. I fucking love these albums. And so the rest is fucking just as good. I mean, the only complaint I have, aside from the open mic tracks, is the closer, Change the Beat, which has literally 4 minutes of rain at the beginning of it.
Oh yeah,
4 minutes straight of rain sounds.
That goes into like what we were talking about, like on you're on a CD, you got 80 minutes.
Might as well ruin your album by padding it out. But the song is so fucking good. The song is great. I don't know if it justifies the fucking 4 minutes of rain, but the song Change the Beat is actually very rad. And that's the only song on the album where he's under MF Doom instead of Vic. But yeah, good fucking album. I think it's the best. I think it's also my favorite. It's like not just so many of his best fucking songs, insanely consistent and interesting, the most hooky. And this is where the production just fucking takes a step up and everything is big and full and crisp.
I forgot to bring it up, but this real quick. A Dead Mouse.
Oh, right.
So good. That's all I want to say.
Wait, Dead Mouse.
It's like got the strings and it's kind of like Middle Eastern.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. It's fucking rules. But that was the song where when I heard it, I was like, because I told you I went into this a little bit pessimistic, but mostly just not knowing what it was like. When I heard that, I was like, this is the best case scenario for this episode. Like hearing that, I'm like, I love it. And this is the best way it could have gone. I didn't see it going this way. This is fucking awesome. Dead Mouse rules. But anyway,
I told you.
Hell yeah. My best personal favorite. We got plenty more. Let's move on to the final Victor Vaughn album. This is 2004's, the first of many albums released in 2004.
Oh yeah, this is like when I was getting into Doom. 04 was like the year of Doom.
Oh yeah. So this is 2004 is it VV2 Venomous Villain.
Oh. Got it.
Dub it off your man, don't spend that $10. I did it for the advance. The back end sucks. It's better than sitting up in a crack den with the Mac 11 yelling at
so
your feet.
So I believe this album is not streaming. I had to get this one off YouTube.
Yes, so the YouTube quality is awful. Thankfully, I own it, so I should have just sent it to you for quality, but I wasn't thinking.
The quality is rough. And I did note that, but knowing that it was just a YouTube thing helps.
Yeah, so I'm playing like the riff.
I got more tricks up my sleeve, cough, hiccup, and sneeze.
This song fucking rules.
Dude, somehow like
must be still allergic to a real raw rhymer with skills that's surgical. Take the day off.
They listen on the first album and they're like more sci-fi.
Yep.
With your lazy daughter.
It's fucking dark and funky, but unpredictable. This song, look at that. That wasn't expecting to get this funky.
Also, Diplo produced this. Like, what the fuck? Like, that guy's just a huge EDM pop guy now, and he produced this fucking song. Like,
heat debate.
Wild.
Came to eat your team steak.
So it's how long did we play that song for?
Like 2 minutes.
2 minutes, and it became 2 different songs in 2 minutes. And like,
I did fast forward a little, so maybe not a full 2 minutes, but because there was filler in the beginning. But it kind of bothers me that people rank this like bottom tier.
Do they?
And I think they rank it bottom tier due to the lack of availability.
Okay, that's a bullshit fucking reason.
Yeah, so I think this label that put this out went under, so I don't know who has the masters and all that, but like I like this album a lot. I think it's more of like an EP.
I mean, 35 minutes is no EP.
It's no EP.
No, that's an album. There are so many of the best. Rain and Blood is 30 minutes. That's no EP.
But like, yeah. I don't know, like Fallback Titty Fat is like one of the best Doom songs.
It's so fucking fun. I mean, it's so many.
That song goes all over the place.
Everywhere. That song, at first I was like, it has cool moments, but it feels disjointed. And then as it goes on, it's the least accessible thing, but it ends up where it ends up. Like, this is just fucking incredible. It's so good.
It's masterful.
So
It's masterful. And then like Rap Game is just like, again, one of the best Doom songs. And
I found it to be very, I don't think it's anything special. I think it's straightforward as fuck, but I mean, it's still solid as hell.
Yeah, I think it's a nice break from all the like electronic stuff. Like, I mean, it's always been one of my favorite Doom tracks. And then we got two titans in the building on Doper Skiller. And, it's not exactly like what I thought it would be in my dreams, but having Cool Keith and MF Doom on one track is still really fucking cool.
So there's Dope Skill and Dope Skiller. Dope Skill doesn't do anything for me. It's short and I feel like inconsequential. Then Dope Skiller comes on. I'm like, that's much better.
That's
much
where
better.
It's at.
Very dark. Very nice. Everything. I mean, he's all his music is dark for the most part, but this is just continuing. Definitely not as strong as the last one, obviously, in my opinion, but I didn't dislike this at all. There's still some. Like, again, there's still some of his best fucking songs on here.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, Ode to Road Rage is kind of weird and dark, and
it's fucking great. That's where because at this point in the album, I was like, okay, it's definitely like one of the weaker, like compared to the first three. I'm like, this is the weakest of the first three, but even the weaker albums are fucking pretty damn good. Like, that's a killer song.
Yeah, this is definitely a redheaded stepchild album in his discography. I think it's killer, and I just don't think enough people have spent time with it due to like it not being readily available at a high quality, and it definitely needs to be re-released. But I'm sure I don't know who owns these things, so it's fucking confusing. And this the fact that like Diplo's on it is nuts.
It is. I don't recognize any other fucking names on this thing.
I don't know.
From Cool Keith. But an interesting one, and it's also his shortest album by a lot. It's just
goes by so quick. It's just like and
it's not, again, people are probably, I think they're wrong to rate it super low, but it's not perfect either. Like Pop Quiz is a pretty rough closer, I think.
It's definitely not as memorable as
no, not at all. And like
other things on it.
But aside from that, like Doom on Vic, it's over immediately. I don't love it. It's not, but it's like it's less than 2 minutes.
I kind of like it. This, like, if you're confused why this is a Victor, this describing
it.
Yeah.
That's fucking exposition. But try and find it. The YouTube version sucks, but do what you can.
Do what you can. Write letter. Maybe Diplo's got some pull. Tweet Diplo and be like, you have money and power. You were on this album. Fucking do something.
Justice for Vic.
Justice for Vic.
Vic's second album. It's snappier if you just cut out that last part.
VV2.
But we got plenty more. We got plenty more from this year, and we have a big, giant one coming up next. A big ass one coming up next.
Yes.
I wonder what this one could be, folks. Here we go. 2004's under Madvillainy. Madvillainy.
Madlib heard that Tick Tick song and is like, I bet you could rap over an accordion too.
This is his most famous song, probably.
There's big ones on here. I'm not gonna say one's bigger than the other.
This is the only one that I kept hearing in the world.
Yeah.
By the way, this song samples Mother's Invention.
Oh yeah, of course it does. Yeah.
And he does sample Frank Zappa later on, which I called immediately. Let's make me want to Frank Zappa.
Yeah, Madlib is just one of the greatest producers ever. Oh yeah.
It's like they know what's about to happen.
So this is obviously a great song. I've had wildly different experiences with this song on different types of speakers. It is a inconsistent song depending on which speakers. It's crazy. Okay, we've heard it. We gotta move on. It's a fucking great song. So that song with the speakers, what I want to briefly touch on. Listening to that song in the car, that bass drum is boom, boom. It's a fucking booming.
Yeah.
If you're listening on fucking computer speakers, it might as well not be there.
Headphones is probably the way to go.
And that's a weird thing that I haven't heard too much, where there's that big of a contrast of the size of speakers. Like if your speakers aren't big enough, you just won't hear it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's bad mixing, but a great song. This is the only album I heard before doing this.
Oh, God
Everyone calls this a masterpiece.
And yeah, I'm just going to agree. This is the best.
I don't get it. It's a good album. I don't see how this is a masterpiece.
It's just the like this is two madmen in the studio to me. And like outside of like the technical prowess of everything. Yeah. I like the vibe. It
has a very good vibe.
We go back to the variety show thing, which you get on was it Bistro, where he kind of talks about who they're like hanging out with, and it feels like a variety show, but it's also just like you and friends are just hanging out, doing this kind of like B-level variety show, and like I just like the vibe, and then it's just like so many lines get stuck in my head from this album, even before it blew up, and that's why it's like interesting watching it climb into this like legendary status, because it's just like I always thought it was dope since day one. So yeah, I mean it did kind of change my outlook on music, because like it introduced me to Madlib, and he's like crazy now. Like he works with like big rappers now. He's like one of the best guys at sampling like Middle Eastern music too. And it's just like, yeah, I just think it's just two madmen, Doom and Madlib, creating crazy music.
I'll tell you why I don't love it.
Why?
Well, there's several reasons. I think it's still a very good album, and it's super unique, not just in the grand scheme of hip hop, which is super unique, but no other Doom albums sound like this.
Well, yeah, that's because it's Madlib.
But even the stuff that like the Victor Vaughn stuff, like even that you can kind of piece things together as it's like, oh, it's still Doom, you know it's Doom. This is I think the least dark album out of everything. The stuff here, there's still dark stuff every now and then, but overall it feels way more like soulful as a whole.
It does, yeah.
And that's not my problem with it. My problem with it is actually the flow of it, because even though it does for I would say like 80 to 90% of it flows like really nice. Like the transition stuff is very nicely done, where it kind of like bleeds into the next stuff.
Also, I gave it best because I like every song.
I'll talk about that, but like the songs are super duper short.
They are.
I don't got no problem with short songs. I love me some short songs. My problem with it is that they feel like they feel unfinished.
Yeah.
Every song feels unfinished. Maybe like aside from a couple. Even Accordion, which is this massive song, and it's beautiful. And has its haunting ass. It's 2 minutes, but the thing is, fine. 2 minutes is fine. Have a 2-minute song. It has a bitch ass quick fade out at the beginning of the album. A bitch ass quick fade out, and then it's like most of the songs don't do that. Most of the songs don't do quick fade outs like that. But to have that at the very beginning of the album, just like bad pacing.
Know how you feel about those fade outs.
Oh, I hate a quick fade out.
To put a bow on Victor's journey, because this is the last time we see him on Fancy Clown.
Yeah.
That song is about his girl leaving him for Doom. So that's why
interesting.
That's why I'm like, oh, he was like setting him up to like be a bigger, because now he
has an actual story.
And now he's not a fan anymore.
Yeah.
Now he is upset, but he never elaborated.
Yeah, it's a fine song. Again, it's super fucking short. Comes and goes. I mean, it's 2 minutes or less than 2 minutes.
Before he recorded other albums, it was kind of hard to get people to listen to Doom. So one of the tracks I would show him is America's Most Blunted, because like you show that to stoners, they if it's about weed, like they don't even care that it's weird.
Yeah. It's so that song, it's a big reason why I don't love this album. I believe it's Quasimodo's fucking voice.
Oh,
I hate that fucking
do you know
pitch shifted bullshit.
Well, Quasimodo is Madlib.
With a pitch shifter, right? Yeah. I don't like that fucking character. I don't like that sound. I don't like that fucking
I guess I'm just used to it.
I hate that stupid, annoying pitch shifted thing. I hate it.
Can't wait to make you do the Quasimodo episode.
Oh. So that song and the other one, Shadows of Tomorrow, which America's Most Blunted is fine. It's annoying because of the voice, but Shadows of Tomorrow is the one where that fucking Quas, it drives me up the fucking wall. I hate it.
I love Shadows. I didn't listen to Sun Ra before this album, and then
fucking Sun Ra.
And then because of that track, I was like, "You son of a bitch, I'm in."
Sun Ra is a fucking force. Holy shit!
And so like, because he's like taking Sun Ra lyrics, probably even samples.
So the reason why I keep commenting on like the shortness of the songs and the unfinishedness, or the way they feel unfinished, as a whole, this feels way more like a sound collage than an album, which is, it's not like a bad thing. Again, it has a cool vibe and it's fucking fascinating, and they're brilliant samples, and the production itself is pretty fucking brilliant, but it doesn't move me as an album. It's like, this is just a very fucking interesting piece of art.
Yeah, I don't know. It is kind of like if you blink and it's over, but also it's like I've been listening to, like, when did this? Damn near 20 years. Holy shit, I'm old. And 2 more years. Like, years. I've been listening to this for 18 years, so I'm just like, I don't know. I can like get in these songs, but I get that like sensation you're describing, because I'm sure I had it at first, but now it's just like, comfort food for me.
It becomes a different thing for sure. It also does a thing that I get only with albums with short songs. I get it all the time with hardcore punk, especially when every song is super short. The brilliant ones are
kind of lost.
No, it's not that. They're immediately counterbalanced by one I don't like. So it's not like, so you get 2 songs that are a minute long, fucking nothing, but you get one that is brilliant and you get one that's kind of so. They're taking the same amount of real estate, so they just kind of cancel each other out. Like, it becomes this. It just becomes like, oh, you get one bad song, one good song. You can't even acknowledge that they're both so short that they're gone immediately, and you're already moved on to the next thing. They take up the same amount of brain power. Yeah,
I think the like quotability of the lyrics also help this. Like, you know, like accordions, got things, America's Most Blunted, all caps. Obviously, that's another big one on here. Figaro is just like.
Figaro's fucking amazing.
Figaro.
It's one of my absolute favorites.
I've only seen Doom live once. It sounded like shit, and like
it's not surprising somehow.
Dude, one of the only songs I could make out that I can't even tell you what songs he did.
You couldn't make him out, really?
I couldn't make out. That's how bad it sounded. And the motherfucker showed up late, but at least I didn't get a Doom bot. Do you know about Doom bots?
I can't believe we didn't bring up Doombots. I mean,
I was going to bring it up now because this is like
this is the beginning of the Doombots.
kind of, yeah.
Because I know it happens a lot more in like in a year from now.
Yeah.
Go ahead. This dude is an asshole. It's hilarious, but it's
He is an asshole. And like, I'm like, I kind of wish he did sound an imposter because it sounded like shit. I would have rather seen like a good show that sounded good. But yeah, because he wears a mask, he would send people who weren't him to do his shows and people would get mad. And his excuse was, I'm a supervillain, which is bullshit because like you're an artist and people paid money to see you.
I remember the one that blew up a little bit was he saying Hannibal Buress. Hannibal Buress to do it.
Yeah. That one made me laugh.
It is very funny, except for the fact that Hannibal Buress is like sincerely making music now.
Is he? I mean, I haven't checked it out yet, but
I don't think you got it, dude. It's a lot of autotune.
Yeah.
It's a lot of autotune.
That one I was fine with because that was during a Flying Lotus set. Like
that is funny.
You paid your money for Flying Lotus and like not Doom, but not good live anyways. And then so whatever. Yeah, I mean, big album, big quotable songs I quoted, but one of the like craziest songs to me is like Rainbows. I'm like, who raps and sings about drinking Drano?
Oh yeah.
And then like fairly recently, like within the past few years, I realized because he's a bad singer and he knows he's a bad singer, the hook for the song is because he drank Drano.
He literally drank Drano?
Not really, but that's like
that's how bad his voice is. The person drank Drano. So that's why he sounds bad. Because the whole song is just really bad vocals and singing.
Because that's a song like
it's a good fucking song though. It's very noir sounding.
Yeah, initially I didn't love that song, but then like I was listening to it and I'm like, you fucking weird motherfucker, and it grows on you.
I know for sure it grows on you. The vocals were enough to make me not enjoy it, but I get it. That one was like, I get it. I'm not even gonna be like complaining about that one.
And then last thing, the all caps music video is like very beautiful. It's hand drawn, and last year, Stone Throw, the record label, they finally put out like an HD version of the music video, and it's very cool. It's all hand drawn. It's this. Check that music video out.
Great song too.
Because before it looked like shit, and seeing like the HD version is this nice.
Very nice. One last thing. I mean, it doesn't even need to be said. I already kind of mentioned it. Just with like the stuff. I think the thing I found the most frustrating was the super duper short songs that were amazing, like Supervillain theme. It's like. I think that's the strongest instrumental. It is an instrumental that's under a minute that I was just so devastated wasn't longer and fleshed out. I was like, how could you just let that one go like that? I mean, God damn it. There's stuff here that's longer that maybe could have been shorter and vice versa, but like that one's like, what are you doing? That's so fucking good.
There's there's something deep going on there.
Yeah, and it ends with Rhinestone Cowboy, which is pretty strong, very strong.
Just awesome.
The longest song at 4 minutes. Only like how many songs crack 4 minutes?
This one? Blunted and Rhinestone.
Everything else is like 2 minutes and under for the most part. But yeah, your best. Everyone's best. Everyone's best. I see it as a masterpiece.
I get what Mike's saying, but also like I think MF Doom's discography is so varied and unique. Like I don't really think there's a right answer for. Yeah, to me, there's not really like a clear best. If you like really get into him,
it's hard to pick a best.
So even though this has the acclaim, and I fell into the trap, I don't even think it's like an obvious, like a clear best.
I think this is a perfect example of hype hurting a situation, because if I had no knowledge of this album going into it, I would have been completely blindsided. Like, this is a fucking weird and interesting album. I might have given like a personal favorite or something.
Yeah.
Because it's just so unusual and it's such a weird flow to it. Maybe not, just because the flow of it is, I have a problem with that. But like the fact that it just praises this masterpiece, like, have you heard Victor Vaughn?
I do think
People love that one too, and I know.
Yeah, I do think this is, well, personally better than.
Yeah, I know, I get it, but as an album, I think I like it way more as a piece of art than as an album.
I mean, just the like album cover looks like an art piece more than
it honestly does
than other things. So.
Yeah, I like his droopy eyes in it. It looks sleepy.
Yeah, it was originally going to be like this full color because the guy who did it, he really likes the King Crimson and the Court of the
Crimson, yeah.
Yeah, so he wanted something scary, and then so he just started making it darker until it was scary. And then he's like, oh, it kind of looks like a Madonna album cover, so that's why there's a little square of orange to like tie it into the Madonna cover. I'm like, even the album art is fucking...
It's simple on the surface, but there's always more to it. Goddamn.
So yeah, if you put it... I forget which one it is. Maybe we can look it up and throw it on the video.
It lines up with the Madonna.
Yeah.
But we got more. We got so many more. This is the last album of 2004. This is under his name. This is MF Doom.
Yes. Last one under MF Doom.
Last one under MF Doom. This is Food.
I love this so much.
Really? Even a reef from armed dudes on some beef crap. I suggest to change your diet.
I mean, it's back to the
blood pressure if you're fried, or even a stroke, heart attack, heart disease. It ain't no starting back once arteries start to squeeze. Take the easy way out, phony.
I love that it's called beef rap, and he's talking about like what eating too much beef does to you.
The man knows.
I just like, oh, that bass, like your arteries start to squeeze. I love it. I love the delivery.
And we're back to the fucking classic movie.
Well, now we're back. He hasn't produced since
the second album.
Well, Ghidorah.
Yeah, so the second one.
Yeah. Sorry.
Flows that's gorgeous. Drop dead joints hit the whips like bird shit. They need it like a hole in their head or a third tit. Her bra smell. His cards say hell. Barred from all bars and kicked out the Carvel. Keep a cooker where the jar fell. And keep a cheap hooker.
So my only problem with that song is how long it takes to start, which you skipped all of that.
Yeah, I skipped it, but I love it. For the podcast I skipped it, but I like the setup on it. I think this is lyrically his best.
Really?
Yes.
Oh man, I wish I paid more attention to the lyrics because I didn't love this album at all.
I think he is shredding on every song.
It is an interesting concept. It is a fascinating concept album. It's all fucking
food related, but then he does like clever things like, oh, it's a beef rap, and then he kind of takes it like literally and ties in beef to actual beef. Again, a fan of the double, triple, and quadruple entendres.
Yeah.
Oh man, like, dude, hot cake or hoe cakes. I just love how ugly that like beatboxing is.
Oh, I hate it. It sounds like a fart. It sounds like a fucking fart.
I love it.
It drives me crazy. And I was surprised at how much it was bothering me. I was like, man, this is really ruining the song for me. Holy shit.
I love it. And then like, I would sit there and listen, and he said something like, Doom's like gone like BD Cooper. And like, I would listen to it, and then I was like, after 5 years, I'm just like, who the fuck is BD Cooper? So I like looked it up. Super interesting guy. Like, held up a plane.
Oh fuck.
Made the government give him money, took the plane up and parachuted out, and they never found his body.
The dude did it. He fucking did it.
BD Cooper's like legitimate, like really like an
the
interesting,
only successful fucking what is it? Threatening the government.
Robbing
the government.
Yeah, holding up an airplane. I think it's in the 70s, and yeah, that's the type of guy Doom is. Like, he's just thinking about BD Cooper. It's just,
holy shit, that's fascinating. I don't. So I thought I didn't like this album. I don't like it as much as a lot of the others, but in the end, there's still some of I think some of the best songs are on here. I think that the ultimate reason why this one like fucking bothered me is the gigantic chunk in the middle of filler.
Yes.
I mean, holy shit.
That's why I didn't give it an accolade. I don't mind it, but also in the scheme of things,
it's a big chunk. Like I've never 4 tracks in a row of filler. That's insane.
Yeah. But like I said, I just the lyrics on here, and like we do get a Mad Lib produced one with One Beer that was supposed to be.
Was it supposed to be on the last one?
Yeah, it's supposed to be on the last one, and I'm glad they cut it because like it fits better here, and I think Mad Lib like chose violence with those samples. Like I love just sampling like a drum fill and like the crazy like high pitched vocals.
The vocal samples sound so fucking good. They're great. Potholders is also fantastic.
Oh, I think that's one of my favorite Doom beats.
Amazing. Great bass lines, layers.
It might not be Doom. It might be
Count Bass D.
Yeah.
Whoever the fuck that is.
Yeah.
It's fucking fantastic though. Goddamn, I love it.
Speaking of, I think this is our last Mr. Fantastic appearance on
Mr. Fantastic. Yeah, rap snitch niches.
One of the most popular Doom songs. And
is that really? Is it one of them?
It is, and yeah, that's where like he like brings it on there.
It's fucking great. That guitar sample makes me feel things.
Yeah,
Love
so
it.
you have the like main chorus, like the rap snitches telling all their business, sit in the court, they be their own star witness. Do you see the perpetrator? Yeah, I'm right here. Like,
I feel like you know the song, Alex.
I know. I didn't even write it down. I just like know the song, and then like my favorite one of my favorite parts on there, because at the time this is like peak Lil Wayne and some other guys.
Right.
These like shirtless rappers, and then so like I always loved like, are they rhyming jerks or stripping males? Out of work jerks since they shut down Chippendales. Yuck. Put a shirt on, at least a button up. Like,
yuck.
Yeah. Because I was angry and we've talked about like how awful music is in the like early 2000s.
Pretty bad,
especially hip hop. And so like when I heard him say that, I was like, yes, this is my guy. Like, this is my guy.
Saying what needs to be said.
Yeah, he's wearing a Cosby sweater and a metal mask and like Lil Wayne.
Always layering up.
Yeah. And Lil Wayne's out here like shirtless talking about like lollipops. Like,
good God Almighty.
So yeah, I always get the rhyming jerks or stripping males.
Yeah.
And then this is the wordplay. Out of work jerks since they shut down Chippendales. Like, it's just so odd. Like when you say it, it's like, yeah, of course you say that. But then it's like, I think he really thought about that and got the
no fucking schmuck is coming up with that on the spot.
And didn't write those down off the dome for those.
Conquesto, fucking awesome.
Pretty underrated.
I love it. Yeah. I think it comes on way too late in the album. It could have been a fucking strong opener.
I think that's why it gets Con Queso and Cookies.
Cookies is fucking fantastic. It's a killer. I mean, I don't know if I like it as a closer, but it is. I don't give a fuck. It's great.
Yeah.
It's fast, mean, fucking dark. Killer bass lines. Well, there was one thing that bothers me about that song, and it's like there were some amazing moments with these bass lines that they just fucking play once and then they just leave it.
Yeah.
And it's like,
I guess
at least play it twice. Give me something.
I guess that's the danger you get with a maniac like this where one album you're like, I love how it's one song and then it changes.
Yeah. Also, like if you fucking love a thing, he might touch it for a second, then never touch it again. Like, God damn.
Again, he's a super villain. You can't trust him.
He's probably not even dead. No, he's dead. But
I'm not, I'm not one for conspiracy theories, but if people want to start one that he's not dead, hey,
I was like, I mean, we're going to talk about.
We're going to talk about it. And,
yeah, but people have made up much more stupid conspiracies about celebrity deaths.
I didn't even believe it for like a few weeks.
I didn't believe it for a while. Yeah,
I'm like, sure.
All right.
Sure. On Halloween.
Okay.
Was April Fool's too convenient for him to die?
But yeah, good album. Rough bit in the middle. It's fucking pretty packed with filler, but still some of his best stuff. And lyrically,
lyrically, this is this is his best. It's insane how he did these 3 albums, or they were released. I'm sure they were recorded various times, but holy shit, what a fucking year.
Yeah. Oh, last little thing, just saw right now. Food is an anagram of MF Doom.
Oh, of course it is.
Which makes plenty of sense. It makes a lot of sense.
Of course it is.
Interesting stuff. But anyway, time to move on. We're approaching the end. We have a few more. Still a lot, but maybe like three left. But this is a very fascinating one. This is 2005. We did a little bit of a little collab with our buddy Danger Mouse, who we've covered a lot.
I've included in a year-end list with Carano.
And we've also covered him with Sparkle Horse.
Oh, that's right. Yep.
He's been around. So this is as Danger Doom, the Mouse and the Mask.
Why did you buy this album? I don't know why you did. You're stupid.
Let me tell you, when I heard about this album, I was like...
Depending on your age, says a lot.
I was like, of course, MF doing something with Adult Swim.
Doing an Adult Swim album.
That makes sense. It makes all the sense in the world.
It does. And I wasn't expecting it to be this serious.
This is the most clean production you are going to get.
Oh yeah,
in the whole thing.
100%.
I think this was before Gnarls Barkley. So this was like the second big thing Danger Mouse did. This is like coming off the Grey album.
Rappers suck when they spit, I doubt them. The crap they sing about, you wanna slap the fucking shit out them.
So this song is called El Chupanibre, which is a reference to Futurama that I love quite a bit.
Yep.
I think it was like the first episode of season 2. I second that emotion because I've seen it 10,000 times.
A sick pair of merry men. The beat is like a swift kick in the rear end. The stiff made her lose the lipstick.
Oh, so you put in the censored version.
He said, "Jam."
I thought it was always censored.
No. Well, I discovered that it's not.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
Mike knows something.
Yeah. So that's the version. Yeah, that's the same one I got too. At first, I listened to it the first time. I was like, "Why is it censored?" And then the one with this cover,
the original one.
That one is not censored.
Okay. Yeah, for some reason just thought they were like playing into the like that they were on thing? Yeah, that they were on TV and they got to get bleeped.
That makes sense.
So I didn't even think much of it.
I imagine that was the one more pushed by Adult Swim, maybe.
No, it came out like this is the original cover.
But this album is a surprisingly fantastic album.
Also personal
favorite.
Because
I get it. I mean, this was
again. I just love every song.
Also, this is a very specific fucking album. It's definitely dated because this is a really exact moment in Adult Swim history where you have Aqua Teen Hunger Force was at the top of its game.
Yep.
You got fucking
Space Ghost,
Harvey Birdman, C-Lab, and the Brack Show and whatever. They have
Perfect Hair was a weird show.
I never saw it. It
was a weird show. Yeah.
There's a lot of weird shows.
Yeah.
The thing is, this was my Adult Swim. This was the Adult Swim this was our Adult Swim, our generation's Adult Swim.
For sure. So
there was a huge soft spot for that. I think objectively, taking all that out, the jokiness is a bit much. The fucking characters doing the voices and I love the characters. I love the shows, but it is stupid as fuck.
I disagree. I'm not even like a big Space Ghost fan. I like the Brack appearances on here. And then of course, I love Aqua Teen, but
Aqua Teen is good.
I think even if you cut those out, I think Danger Mouse is just so fucking good at what he does. MF Doom is just so good at what he does.
These are all such good songs. Despite that, that's literally my only complaint is that the jokes will not be funny third listen. And at that point, you're just listening to fucking Master Shake leave a crazy voicemail, which is the funniest part of the whole fucking thing. Master Shake's voicemails, I think, is him and the Moon Knights, I think, are the funniest thing on here.
Oh, I love Moon Knights. I love Vatsayura in the.
Vatsayura is fantastic. Yeah.
They were always like one of my favorite lyrics. I love how like absurd and grand they are, and you get that on the song though. The behold, y'all.
Yeah.
Like it's just. I love the way
great.
they talk.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think on the Aqua Teen Hunger Force song, Carl being like, where's all the guitars?
REO Speedwagon. Yeah.
Yeah, stuff white people listen to.
That song is my least favorite because it is just an Aqua Teen. It's literally called Aqua Teen Hunger Force for one.
Yeah.
But it's just like, let's have a fun joke song, gimmicky thing with all the characters from the show. And that stuff, I don't love that kind of stuff in general. It's very novel. But
this is like an HD version of the first album where like it involves cartoons and there's the playfulness, but
I think
it's very sleek, it's very clean.
It's also obviously more modern and comedy oriented.
Yeah, like a song like Sofa King, you don't get that.
Oh,
like
yeah.
MF Doom by himself.
I forgot about Sofa King We Totted.
Yeah.
I fucking forgot about that. I misremembered it as a South Park thing, but it's an Aqua Teen thing.
Yeah. And then the Mask, like when that song came out, everyone, because you brought up that he was inspired by Ghostface.
Oh yeah, Ghostface.
And I didn't know Ghostface wore a mask until this song.
Oh.
And then so they're like MF Doom Ghostface album coming out, and I was just like, holy shit, that's gonna be the greatest thing ever. It never fucking came out. They did a few songs together.
They collabed on like 2, 3.
No, there's more.
Oh, but that we covered, I think it was only 2.
Yeah, we're gonna get into 2 of the songs, but like, oh man, I just love that pairing of Doom and Ghostface so much.
That song is fucking amazing. Ghostface sounds amazing on there.
When I took my mask off, my face went missing for 2 whole days. Like,
fucking hilarious. That's so funny. And yeah, again, aside from the Aqua Teen Hunger Force track, and I don't really care much for Old School Rules. It's not even bad. I just don't care for Talib Kweli so much.
I like Old School. It is kind of like dated that era of like independent hip hop. It does have that feel. It is ironic that like Mos Def was the super fan, but then like Talib Kweli got to do the song. So I don't think. I mean, arguably that's not like a Mos Def track, but I just think it's like there's a video of Mos Def just like freaking out over how good
it is
MF Doom is, and like it's just, I don't know if they ever did a song, but it's just kind of crazy. It doesn't pop up in this discography, so
that is crazy.
I think my favorite song is Benzie Box. Speaking about a song, they, depending on your stereo equipment, you'll get various results on it. It'll blow your shit out. And I just love the juxtaposition of like how bassy and fuzzy that is, and then to bring in like CeeLo's like smooth vocals over it.
Controversial opinion, I never liked CeeLo. Don't care for his voice. Don't like him as a person. I have nothing against him as a person.
I think he's gone crazy.
I think he's a bad person. I think people don't like him.
He might be. I meant to look it up, but I didn't, so I'm not going to say any more on it.
There we go. The song, I get that people will like it. I get that it's your favorite. I know it's a good song. I don't care for that fucking style. I don't really like anything that he does that much. It's not for me. But I don't think it's like a knock on the record at all, or on the flow of all these songs.
Last thing I'll say, Crosshairs. I feel like one of the best. On paper, all those samples sound random, but it just comes together in such a beautiful way.
Strings, those bass lines. Honestly, it's fantastic. One of the best songs here for sure.
And yeah, I like Brack rapping. I don't know if it's a bonus track, but
on Bada Bing.
On Bada Bing, when Meatwad
comes in, he
does beef rap.
Beef rap, yeah. It's cute. It's not worth multiple listens.
It's cute, but it's just a nice little tip of the hat. And then also, like a meatball doing beef rap.
That stuff I could do without, because I'm looking for the re-listen value of it.
Skip it.
That's why it's the very last thing. Just chop it off. And honestly, Master Shake, his voicemails are legit great. They're so fucking
how
funny.
he's like, fuck you, but also like, here's my contact.
He's like, yeah, if you're working on anything else in the future, give me a call.
Give me a call. It's classic
it's
Master Shake, like narcissist.
Yeah.
And
It's funny. It's legit funny. And the songs are this is honestly one of his fucking best albums, like just without a doubt. And even though like I did notice a lot of like by the end of the album, I'm like, oh, this is Danger Mouse's thing. This is just what he does. He does a lot of the bells and xylophones. He does a lot of this like smoothness with like old, like a lot of string stuff.
like orchestral. Yeah.
Like
He's kind of like a big band.
yeah, like
a little.
you
It doesn't sound like it, but the same mentality.
yeah, you know him when you hear him, and if you like it, you're good. If you don't, you're not gonna. It's not gonna change.
Which who doesn't?
I can see it getting wearing thin because it is like a one trick type of thing. It's fucking vast and it's deep and it's beautiful, but you're not getting different of varying moods. It's all very much the same mood. You're not getting crazy, wacky, or you're not getting super dark and evil. You're always getting like this smooth and melancholy thing the whole way.
I get what you're saying, but also I disagree, and I hope he drops an album. Oh, he is going to drop an album this year, so I can talk about him at the year end.
I hope it's not melancholy. I hope it's wacky. I hope it's zany, boopy.
It's him and Black Thought from The Roots.
It's gonna be melancholy. It's gonna be real melancholy.
Yeah,
It's gonna be very melancholy.
Yeah. I think it comes out in November, but yeah.
Check out the Roots episode. We did that one too. But
shit,
we got
what am I doing?
We got a
Too
couple
many
more.
devices.
This is Alex's personal favorite. It's a fascinating album. It's very fucking beautiful. It's actually quite beautiful, and a snapshot of
the times
of the times of. I mean, our teenage years, basically.
Yeah.
You more teenage than
early
me.
20s for me, maybe. Yeah.
Teens, straight teens for me. But here we go. We got two more.
This is also like probably like the most accessible Doom album.
The most, ironically, because it's so jokey and stupid.
And like very specific, but like also things like Crosshairs or Benzie Box or The Mask, they do like
musically the most
stand on their own.
Yeah, musically the most accessible for sure. But here we go, everybody. This is as Doom. Not
a little bit of a gap here.
A little bit of quite a gap, about 4 years. Actually, you know what? Before we move on, there's a whole bunch of shit that happened with this album that I can't skip over.
Okay,
this is a fascinating.
Okay, I don't know about this.
I can't believe
period of time.
We almost skipped this. So what had happened was the origin of this thing was they brought in Doom because Adult Swim and Cartoon Network were going to do something with Danger Mouse. He just made the Gray album, and what was it? Who orchestrated this whole thing? What's his name? Jason DeMarco.
Okay.
Jason DeMarco. He was the one in charge of putting this whole together, I believe. He talked to Mike Lazo, who's like the head of Adult Swim or whatever. And they both love the Gray album. They both love Madvillainy. So they're like, okay, we're going to do this. It's going to be cool. It's going to be an album around cartoons. Hell yeah. They do all that shit. Apparently, there's a whole bunch of dog shit that happened with DeMarco losing a bunch of money because of Doom. And like various misadventures, as Tom says. But Tom says, but through the whole thing, he seems totally zen because he's such a big Doom fan. And then there's the whole thing of the missing notebook rhymes, which is a sad thing. So it was supposed to be an album of 15 tracks released over the course of 15 weeks, a track a week. They released 7, and then they abruptly canceled it. And the quote from Jason DeMarco, no. Sorry. The quote, was it from Jason? It's from Adult Swim. It's from
a spokesperson
from Adult Swim. The quote is, Adult Swim is ending our relationship with Doom, and thus the remaining missing notebook rhymes will unfortunately have to remain missing. But there was no explanation. There was no reason. Fast forward to the death of Doom. Jason DeMarco finally explained what had happened on Twitter after the 3 years of silence. He said, I'm going to find the actual, I'm going to find the actual quote here. Where is it?
Probably down a little.
Probably down.
I forgot about the Cult Hymn EP.
The quote is, this is from Jason DeMarco. He says, The tracks. No. Sorry. So I keep reading the wrong one. Here we go. Flash forward to like a decade later, and I hear Doom really wants to work with me again. After several talks with his management, we came up with the idea of the Missing Notebook rhymes. Of course, once Adult Swim start releasing them, we find two things out. A, Doom hadn't paid the producers who made these songs or cleared the other vocalists or samples. Of course, he told us he had it all cleared. B, Doom owed music to a record label. Literally anything he released, he owed to them. He didn't tell us this, so the label came after us. It was, in short, a total boondoggle. And of course, we had to shut it down and apologize to a lot of people and pay a ton of money to a bunch of others.
Damn.
So he fucked them over completely.
Damn, what an asshole.
He really, like, and that's the thing, like, did he think like no one would notice? Because record labels notice.
Yeah,
they're fucking greedy as
especially
shit.
if you're working with WB.
Oh, it's so huge.
Yeah.
So, what is it? This is another story right here. Tom says DeMarco also has a story of organizing a TV performance with Doom, where Doom convinced him that it would be a cool idea to have one of his friends on stage miming with Doom rapping backstage. The show went another Doom bot. The show went ahead, but a lot of people figured out it wasn't Doom on stage. One of several occasions, DeMarco getting put on the naughty step by his bosses. So he just kept getting put in shit because of Doom.
Yeah. He got burned once, and he's like, "Give me more," and he just kept going back.
God damn, that's hilarious. It's so shitty but funny. Anyway, that's the weird story of that album and what happened afterward. But that's a little bit of an explanation of the gap. The 7 tracks of the Missing Notebook rhymes, that stuff is. The 7 tracks are released.
Yeah.
And then the following 8 tracks, I believe, because if I could do math correctly, they were put out on Doom's like SoundCloud or something as with like the same header as the others. It's not confirmed, but everyone's like, these are the other songs.
These are it, yeah.
So they are around, and I think we could do loose ends on them.
Yes, there's plenty of stuff we can do loose ends.
But that one seems like a very mysterious one. It's a fascinating one. But anyway, we got two left, and this is a fucking long episode. So here we go. 2009's Born Like This.
Villain man never ran with crows in his hand and won't stop rocking till he clocked in a gazillion grand. Till in the wasteland sand.
Love J Dilla production.
He rests when he's ashes. Ask him after 10 miles.
Unfortunate, he passed away and couldn't work with Doom in a proper capacity. But you know, it is incestuous because J Dilla did do an album with the Madlib called J-Lib, and that's a fun listen.
He about to change the price again. They go up each time. He blow up like hydrogen. Villain here, albums thrilling in fear. It won't stop top ill until he a gazillionaire. Grill and stare. Yeah, your boy had drama. Got him on the mental plane. Avoided bad karma. One sold an inbred skinhead, a nigga joke. Plus a brand new chrome smoke with the triggers broke. I thought I told him fire and pins were separate. He find out later when he tries to go
feels fucking good too. That bass is really pointed.
Charged in advance, translated and ignored us order. One monkey don't stop, no slaughter.
Clicky snare. Very cool.
I did not love this album when it came out, but I like it more now.
Really?
Yeah.
This is one of my lesser favorites for sure. I find this to be one of his most inconsistent records.
This one and the next one, he feels a little slower.
Definitely. Interesting stuff. And it's...
I almost wonder if he had like some sort of like
degradation
of his brain, because in the Red Bull interview, he talks very slowly too. And then but then there's some guest appearances where I'm like, that's Doom. But like on this album and the next one, I'm like, he's kind of, kind of like watching a boxer pass his prime. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good way to put it. Even though there are some fucking bangers on here, like there's basically one bad for every one good. I feel like
I don't think there's anything bad on here. It's just kind of like it doesn't stay with me the way other things do. There's not as many like quotable things. There's some good moments on here. Like I love Yes Sir because I love ESG, the sample. Like, so anytime you sample ESG, I'm on board. And then like
Raekwon on there.
Raekwon's on it. So like I'm like, that's a cool moment. It sounds good, but I'm not like quoting it the way I am like beef raps.
I don't love that one. I don't even know why. It's just it's eerie and twisted, which I normally do like. It just feels uneventful. The bass feels really weak on there too.
Yeah, I need to show you. I'll sing you an ESG album. They're fucking rad.
All right.
And then Angels, that song was that was the song being teased as the like Doom Ghostface album, but it ends up here. And honestly, it's not.
I don't like it at all.
Yeah. It's not strong.
No.
They ironically end up having better songs on other albums, but that ain't one of them.
Nah. Yeah, there's like, I mean, there's still like, because there's some. I'm surprised at how. I mean, Doom does produce a lot on here, but like I would expect more.
I mean, yeah, it looks like it's like handed off to this guy Jake one, and then you got a Madlib one, which is fine.
And the Jake one, I think, is a man I don't enjoy. It's like most of his songs are the ones I think I don't like the most.
Like Rap Ambush.
No, I don't mind that one. It's solid, but it's not anything remarkable. But like, what other ones did he do? Microwave Mail. That's the one.
Oh, I like that one.
It's not awful. I don't think it's awful, but I just don't care for it.
First of all, it's gross.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. And but what I mean about Jake One, it's like not that the songs are bad, because I don't even think any of these songs are bad. I mean, except Angels, which I don't love. I don't think anything is like bad. Nothing is terrible. But Jake One's production, I think, is the flimsiest. It's the weakest, and it's the most uneven and kind of amateurish compared to the rest, especially compared to Jay Dilla.
Yeah, I think. Jay Dilla is this a master. It feels like they were recording the album and then they kind of realized he's like slow and not as like on point. And then it's like, oh, well, do this track more rhyming to show like I still got it.
Oh.
So it's like he brings the ruckus on that one, and then
it's better than a lot of the other ones on here. I don't love it again, but
then again, like cool moment with Super Villains where you get Podinus from
that's right,
De La Soul. You get Prince Paul on there, and then you get Slug. You get Slug,
which was. I didn't think it was going to make me that happy to hear Slug on a Doom track. I didn't. But I was like, this is so cool.
It's crazy because Food was released on Rhymesayers.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Which Slug is on, but that's not the album where he made the appearance. So yeah, it is cool.
It's a great song. I mean, it's less than 3 minutes. The intro is fucking absurd and annoying.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh god damn. And then the song I was like, all right.
Also, how crazy is that? You got Prince Paul and you're not going to have him produce.
I don't even question anymore. I got nothing.
This is nutty.
Yeah. So again, like it's not like anything is super bad. It just feels choppy and inconsistent. And the pacing, I think, is one of the worst. Even though there's still a lot of stuff on here that's it's very neat.
Yeah,
like Cells. I got to talk about Cells for a second, just because it's one of the most morbid things he's ever done. It's a recording of Bukowski reading. Was it Dinosario We? And it's just so fucking apocalyptic. it's kind of like it. And it does have. It was produced by Doom, right? Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
because it has that, villainous old timey TV show. Movie score type of feel to it. Not awful, but I think it's pretty inconsistent.
Yeah, I did not, which was crazy because I was like, I like all his albums, and then when this came out, I was just like,
I do not like all his albums.
Yeah,
yeah,
but I don't know. Maybe it's just a time thing. Like, okay, yeah, I think it's good.
It's fine, but the thing is, that's the thing when we do this podcast, we're literally stacking it up to every other album, and you notice which ones are weaker.
Also, like he's like built such a big like legacy that it's just like,
and there's some pretty high highs that we've already covered. That's what it's like with people who get not just angry at us, but angry at anybody for like not liking a thing that they like. It's like, well, did you put it in context? Did you put it in fucking context?
Yeah,
like. Yeah, you hear it. you hear an album when you're fucking 18 and it's the first thing you've ever heard like that. Yeah, it's going to change your life. But when you're hearing it at 30, after the rest of their discography, it's like, it's not going to, it's going to be
different.
It's a different thing. Art is very, very, very intricate and subjective. But we got one left, and you know how we feel. We got one left.
And even then, I still like it. I think it's interesting.
But here we go, everybody. Last one on as JJ Doom. This is 2012's Key to the Kuffs.
I'm just gonna play the second one.
Yeah.
I forgot to write 10 cents.
Okay. Yeah. The opening track Waterlog is it's a lot. It's basically an entire track of filler.
The volcano out of Iceland. He'll conquer and destroy the rap world like the white man.
I think this song's a good addition to his.
Yeah, it's a good song. It is not a good opener, but it's a good song. Very cold, very dark.
That's kind of this album. Due to the production of I forget how to say this man's name.
Oh yeah, let's figure this out.
JJ.
Gennaro Jarrell.
Yeah.
Food and water, a couple of gallons for your cutest daughter. And thank him as a Yankee fellow Southerner. Don't forget the general rank. Hello, Governor.
Yeah, interesting. I don't think it's as good as an opener, but it's a dark, cool song.
Yeah.
It doesn't have a lot of energy. Like I honestly think Banis would have been a better opener.
Yeah, I could see that. But worst least favorite. Just because Doom is not on top of his game, but I think
not at all.
I think Jarrell's. I do like his production.
I don't love it. I think it. I found so what I said at the very beginning 2 hours ago.
Yeah.
That which album I'm giving worst to is just the least interesting of the bunch. It's still an interesting album. It's still cool production, but compared to the fascinating, crazy samples that we experienced over the entire discography.
Yeah.
This feels more like little sounds swirling. It's not really, there's nothing like whereas before you could pick each sample and it's a crazy unique thing on its own.
Yeah.
This is just like a bunch of cool little sounds thrown in there. It doesn't really feel like he picked them out of this crazy lineup of stuff.
Yeah. It is the most different production. This guy's worked with Damon. It's the Gorillaz guys.
Oh right, yeah.
He's worked with him. He's worked with Massive Attack, TV on the radio.
Damon album.
Yeah, Kimbra. So yeah. Remember how you said he was born in England?
Yep.
Apparently, no one got this motherfucker a citizenship, and he went on a European tour one time. And they wouldn't let him back into the country.
Oh, wow.
And that's why this is called Keys to the Cuff. And there's all these British things because he was this stuck in England.
Holy shit.
And that's another thing where I was like, is that true? It doesn't really matter, I guess. It's just.
It could be one of his things. Tall tales.
It did end up being true, though.
Okay. It adds up, dude. It fucking adds up.
And yeah, I don't know if he ever came back to America or if he just stayed.
Died in England. Holy shit.
But yeah, it's fucked up. Motherfucker's from Long Island. He's not.
Yeah. You couldn't get further from your British European culture than Long Island, honestly.
Yeah, and it's just yeah, when I heard about it, I was like, is he? I don't know. Who knows? This more
of the mysticism and the lore and all that
of him.
But for the album, I mean, aside from GMO, which I think is the best song on here, because we got what we just covered last week.
With Portishead.
Beth Gibbons from Portishead, which is fascinating. And it does interesting fucking song.
It does kind of sound like a Portishead song, too.
Bits and pieces, for sure. Because it is at first I thought it's dark, it's neat, it's cool. And then the second half comes up, I'm like, this is fucking amazing. And then after multiple listens, the whole thing is really good. And the fact that it changes halfway through only makes it better. Fucking gorgeous, dark, really eerie. But aside from that, there's the better songs are good for this album, but I think weak for every other album.
Some of the standouts for me is Winter Blues. I don't really think Doom's relaxing in a traditional sense, but that song is really nice and pleasant.
That's how
to me.
I interpreted that as a negative. I was like, it feels empty. It feels empty. It feels,
Yeah.
like I like the violin samples. They're very cool. And it's not even it's not bad. I don't think it's bad at all. It feels less just less interesting than everything else.
And then Still Caps is an interesting choice because they bring someone in from Goody Mob, and this is a very like British, like as we've set up and talked about the guests, is a very like British album, and then to bring on a Southern rapper, interesting choice. I think it pays off. I think it's.
I hate it.
Yeah, you don't like it.
You know why? Because that song, along with other parts of this album, really give me some heavy early 2000s hip hop vibe. And there's nothing in the world I hate more than early 2000s hip hop. Check out the DMX episode.
And then last thing that really stood out that like I think is a positive is Vibranian Sun Part 2.
Yeah.
I think that's just a nice little like instrumental.
It's fine. It's moody. It's odd and interesting. It just feels like filler to me. It's not like bad. If you put it on, I'm not going to get mad or bothered by it. But I think that at that point of the album, after everything before it, I was just exhausted. Like this is just not grabbing me.
Yeah, like Boring Convo is it's like off even for Doom.
I think it's rough.
Yeah. Retarded Fern is just dragging along.
Or Retarded Friend. Which it's spelled
weird.
It's spelled retarded. I don't mind it. I don't mind it. I don't mind that one so much. I think it's okay. And also one that caught me off guard, I didn't think I would like. Wash Your Hands, the closer.
That is kind of an outlier.
Unlike anything he's ever done.
It's more
but it's also a fucking absolute sign of 2012 hip hop. Where they did that fucking the snare hip hop thing.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Like, I hate it. I hate that fucking Major Lazer bullshit. Like,
sure.
I hate it. But the song is actually pretty freaking cool. Like, despite that, it's actually a good song. Which says a lot. I mean, I think about the album where it's like, it's definitely the weakest, but it's not like it's awful. Like this is one of the best, I think, if not the best, worst hip hop album that we've covered on the podcast.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure. Like I'm still going to come back to it. It's still interests me, but yeah, in the scheme of things. Also, I think the previous one, Born Like This, I mean, that kind of this feels more like a last album.
It really did. This one honestly feels like stretching something too far.
Like, I feel like Doom had a lot of unfinished business, and I don't really say that about a lot of, well, some artists, you know, like a Nick Drake or
yeah.
But yeah, so and then so this was the last, like, he produced some other albums and the Czarface stuff, but
right.
And then in December 2020, his wife announced that he had died in October of that year on Halloween.
She announced. Oh, I thought it was New Year's Eve that was released. It was like New Year's Eve. They announced that he died on Halloween.
Oh, okay, yeah. Sorry, maybe
or maybe I'm mistaken, but I think that was the case.
But yeah, I was just like, he's not dead.
Yeah, it's
and if he is,
yeah, it was New Year's Eve when she announced
New Year's Eve. I'm like, it's such a Doom thing to announce that, like, he didn't die months ago.
I know it's on a holiday that he died on a different holiday months back.
It's such a like MF Doom way to go out, and we don't know what the causes are. Only him and his family know.
Diabetes, beef. I'm kidding,
the beef rap.
I have
the
no
beef
idea.
rap got him.
I imagine he wasn't healthy. That's all I can comment on that.
Obviously, because he was not a old man, maybe in his 50s, but not
49. Yeah, wasn't even 50.
So yeah, man, and yeah, I'm sure he's recorded a ton of stuff, and it'll just kind of like trickle out, and there's so many like.
That's pretty big in hip hop regardless. But with him, I imagine it would be even more so.
Yeah. And so like maybe there's an album with him and Flying Lotus. Who knows? Maybe that Ghostface album is out there somewhere. Who knows?
But could be. You never know.
With this guy,
Yeah, you have no idea. You know,
I hope before he died, I hope he uploaded his AI or his brain.
He'll be a fucking Doombot AI. He'll upload someone else's AI to pretend to be him.
Yes. And he'd be for it.
He would be. This is another neat thing that Tom sent us. In New York, Long Beach, New York, they renamed East Hudson Street to what did they name it to? They named it after him.
Did they what?
What did they rename it to?
It
says MF Doom gets his own street.
It's KMD MF Doom Way. And
KMD FM. Wow, they put KMD in there too.
And for you hardcore fans, you'll be happy to know they did it all caps.
Caps.
When you spell the man name. Yeah.
Holy shit. That's some love, dude.
Yeah, that's fucking awesome.
They may not have let him back in the country, but they still honored him. Holy shit.
You know, he might have like,
I'm sure he could get a work visa. I mean, it's not.
Well, no, I think eventually maybe he worked his way back into the States, but I think that's why there was like that drought of music, because
I'm sure it was a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
But it's not like you won't allow you to come back and tour and stuff and spend time. Plenty of people can move from other countries. It's just a pain in the ass. But we fucking did it. Holy shit. Let's do a little recap.
For me, the best is Madvillainy. Yeah, maybe I have some bias towards it because it's been 20 years, but I'm a day one fan of that album, so it is what it is. Personal favorite, The Mouse and the Mask, just a unique time capsule, start to finish, just fun. And then worst, least favorite, Keys to the Cuff. This Doom's not at his fighting weight there, but there are interesting tidbits there.
For me, best personal favorite, Vaudeville Villain. Oh boy, those hooks, man. Those hooks for days. Coming in blind, that one is a delight to my soul. And worst, least favorite, Key to the Cuffs. You know, it ain't no Vaudeville Villain, I'll tell you that. That's yeah. But thank you so much for listening and watching and hanging out. If you're new here, which you probably could be, who cares? Fucking support. Leave a comment. Talk shit. Leave your picks for best and worst. Tell us why we're wrong. Tell us why we're not wrong. Like the video if you like it. Dislike it if you're a cocksucker. It's all good in the hood. But what do you want? My brain just left town.
Patreons, albums,
Spotify playlist on MF Doom. The link in the description. Everyalbumever.com. You get all the places that we do for all the episodes. Patreon.com/everyalbumever. If you want to. It's like I put so much effort into talking for 2 hours that like, oh yeah, we're not done yet.
Yeah.
Bonus episodes, early access, super early access to the Loose Ends episodes. We're gonna be doing a bunch of Loose Ends episodes on Doom, is what we're saying now, but it's gonna take us a year to get to them. That's not true. Join the Patreon. You can also see our schedule in advance. You can vote on polls the same way everyone did to get this episode. That's why we did this episode, because they voted on a poll.
Also, thank you guys.
Hell yeah.
Because we're like, we'll throw it up and see. I was not expecting Doom to win, and
I would never expect a hip hop artist to win, but the fact that one did,
it's been 2 years since I've wanted to do this. So
holy shit, we need to start like pulling the trigger on our love.
We should pick a good artist over the joke artist next time two of them die at the same time. Is what here.
Yeah. Next time two artists die, don't go for the one that's gonna suck and be funny. Go for the one that's gonna actually be.
Well, you weren't a big fan.
Yeah, so I didn't.
You didn't know. Yeah.
I didn't. I knew it would be better. I knew it would be better though. Whatever. If you're tier 2, if you're bigger than Jesus, I mean, you can actually suggest artists for us, and we'll actually cover it. We'll put it right on the schedule, and that's also very good to do as well. Please check out my upcoming EP coming out June 28th, Panda Monkey, self-titled. Is your link in the description if you want to pre-save on Spotify. If you're here because of MF Doom, you're probably not going to love it. It is not hip-hop, but it's still very good nonetheless.
But also, if you like MF Doom, I'm going to assume you're a weirdo and you like weird, untraditional things. Check it out.
Please, thank you. Yes. If you're unorthodox, we need you. I need you. So check that out. Please pre-save that. Don't forget to follow our history guy, Tom Osman. He does all the research for us. We learned a bunch of shit today because of him. You can follow him on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Tom Osman Sounds. He also makes music. He's a very good songwriter. He just released an album called So Much for All in Day's Work that you can find on all the platforms Links to all that in the description as well. In addition to his Substack, tomosman.substack.com, where he writes about music and yada, yada, yada. Very, very fun stuff. You can follow me on all social media. I'm finally active again on social media, posting stuff for about the EP and posting clips of other music that I make and yada, yada, yada. Follow that at Pounder Monkey, and you can follow Alex on Instagram
at Mother Puncture.
Hell yes, we finally done. Now, what the fuck are we going to listen to?
I've had 3 weeks to think about this.
And you still haven't narrowed it down?
And you know what? Because I said it was one of my favorite beats earlier and we didn't play it, I'm going to go with Next Levels off Take Me to Your Leader.
Hell yeah. So thank you so much for listening and watching. See ya.